Neighbourhood Watch, Chapter 15. Shall we? Bill seemed to be hungry again, but a look at Laura's wristwatch proved that it was only 10:30. "You should have taken a biscuit," she said, and maneuvered Bill towards her car. "We'll interview the farmers again, about the cat and about everything else. Peter Fuller's wife, Dory, she seems to be kind of a mystery. What do you think?" Bill sat into the car, for a brother occupied the passenger seat, and leaned forward. He picked up a piece of paper from the car floor, read it, brought it closer to his eyes, exhaled slowly, and whispered, "To think they dare to threaten us. Imagine, the National Front threatens the CID. Laura grabbed the paper from Bill's hand. It was a computer printout. "It says, 'Keep your dirty paws out of this, or something really bad will happen. NF.' "Oh my God, this can't be true." Laura leaned over Bill and he made a funny face. Then he realized that Laura just wanted to see if the window was closed. Bill examined the car window. A small slit, almost invisible, was open, but space enough to throw in the threatening printout. "We must have stepped on somebody's tooth, though," Laura mumbled. Bill shrugged his shoulders. "Who can it be? Who would dare to throw something into your car in broad daylight?" Laura looked around. The street was empty and the car was parked under a chestnut tree. One of the neighbors? Might one of them be a member of the NF? Bill shook his head. According to Professor Verma, the regional NHW here, and the NF pursue the same aims in some respects, especially when it comes to distrust of anyone who is not white. Well, I know from experience that the NHW is not political in the slightest, but maybe it depends on the people. What do you think of the coordinator, Peter Fuller? Well, we'll have to find out. Edward McCarthy might be a smaller piece in this jigsaw puzzle. They split up. Bill took his BMW and went to Peter Fuller while Laura took her car to Wilbur McCarthy. When Laura passed the cherry Laura hatch and walked to the door, she saw from the corner of her eye that the curtains in the farmers' windows moved. Bill's remark, "Spies everywhere," passed through her mind. If these neighbors were as curious as they seemed, then they might have seen what had happened to Edward McCarthy, if it had happened here. They would have to interrogate the farmers again as well. Wilbur McCarthy didn't answer the door from the inside. He came around the corner of the house from the back garden. Laura followed after him. He had his wellies and the green jumpsuit on again, and his eyes looked sad. His peanut's nose was dirty, as if he had wiped away some tears, but a closer look showed that there was sweat on his face. He looked at Laura and offered her tea. Laura said, "Yes, please," to win some time to take a closer look at what he was doing. McCarthy left the garden to get her the tea. Laura looked around in amazement. The whole garden resembled a Japanese park. A small brook sprang from the end of the garden, where Laura could spot the Verma's house. The water ran from a rock in a tiny waterfall. She closed her eyes and heard the rippling sound and some doves cooing in the trees. "This is so peaceful," she thought, and opened her eyes. The brook ran in curves through sandy areas with a wavy pattern formed with the help of a rake. A white marble Buddha statue was situated beside some bushes that ducked away in front of fragile trees. The walkways looked like white pebble, but on second glance Laura saw that the ground was solid. She moved her foot in order to move the pebbles. They were set in concrete. Barely visible work, but effective, and the perfect surface for a wheelchair. She cut around 3 bonsai fir trees, which spread their branches over some bigger rocks at the edge of a small pond, where the brook ended. The wooden patio lay behind the pond, just separated by some white cobblestones. A ramp made from the some dark red wood led to the kitchen door. To the right, Laura saw a pile of black humus with a spade thrust in it. 2 buckets contained a strange kind of frangible bush which Laura had never seen before. McCarthy's footsteps caught her attention. "I'm going to build a hill here. Got the bushes only yesterday from a store north of London. They are a variety from Asia." McCarthy came down the ramp with a steaming cup of tea. Laura took it. "This is beautiful," she said. "You're a landscape gardener, I heard." "Yes, I'm self-employed, as I told you. Gives me the time to take care of Dad." "Well," his green eyes darkened, "at the moment this is a mere distraction." "So you haven't heard anything? No letter? No call?" "Nothing. I was hoping you had something new for me." "No, I'm sorry. Can we go inside?" Laura asked and pointed with her head towards the wooden screen which protected the patio from any prying looks from the farmers. In the kitchen, Miss McCarthy closed the door and looked into Laura's eyes. "What happened to your father's cat?" she asked. "Oh," McCarthy sighed. "That old story again. Who told you? I don't think there is anything to it." He shrugged his shoulders and nodded in the farmer's direction. "Have you seen these strange baskets they've put onto their lawn?" Laura nodded. "They cover spots where some cats paid their visit, but before they cover the spot, they dig it out and—" he shivered a bit. "Well, they used to throw it into our garden because they thought it was our cat." What sick brains must be behind such behavior? Laura thought and imagined that the barbed wire in front of the garden was a protection against the kids from the social housing. "So they poisoned your father's cat?" Laura asked. McCarthy shook his head and looked very unhappy with the question. It took some time before he replied. "I don't think so. We found her in the garden one day, but I think she simply died of old age. She was 15. "But your father thought she was poisoned?" "Well, Marcy was his cat. He loved her so much. Maybe initially he thought she got poisoned, but later—" "Did he have an argument with the farmers about that?" Well, he hesitated again. "No, I've never heard them fight. We are not the best of friends, but we get along together quite okay." At that moment, Laura's mobile rang. It was the Guildford Community Hospital. "We have your father here. He seems to have been poisoned."